You are welcome to our channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Supreme Court judgment forces Inec to reassess Labour Party leadership crisis. The ongoing leadership crisis within the Labour Party has taken a new turn as the Independent National Electoral Commission carefully reviews a recent Supreme Court ruling that could significantly impact the party's future. The judgment, which addresses disputes within the Labour Party, has left Inec with the task of reassessing its approach to the party's leadership issues. According to Punch, at the center of the dispute are two factions within the party, one led by Peter Obi, the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election, and the other by Julius Abure, the national chairman. The Supreme Court's ruling, which clarified several points of contention regarding the legality of the party's leadership, has raised questions about the party's readiness for the upcoming election. With this ruling in mind, Inec is now tasked with determining whether the party's leadership structure complies with the necessary legal requirements to participate in the electoral process. The commission is known for ensuring that political parties adhere to the rules, and its careful consideration of the Supreme Court's judgment will be pivotal in resolving the Labour Party's internal conflict. The Labour Party's internal division has already taken a toll on its unity, leading to concerns about its prospects in the next elections. Political analysts are closely monitoring INEC's response, as its decision could not only affect the Labour Party but could also set a precedent for handling similar disputes in other parties. As the electoral body takes its time to study the implication of the ruling, political watchers are waiting for INEC's next steps. The decision will likely have far-reaching consequences for the Labour Party's future and its role in upcoming general elections. Well, it is essential for the INEC to take the very particular step that she is taking at the moment, knowing fully well that Labour Party is being rocked with a lot of leadership crisis now. And if the INEC is not careful, it might, you know, eventually give in even to illegality, which it is not the normal norm of INEC. They always want all the rules to be followed. They always want to dot all I's and cross all T's. But in this regards, INEC has decided not to be, hasty in implementation of the Supreme Court judgment, but he wants to sit down to reassess and be able to digest properly the real interpretation of the judgment given by the Supreme Court. Of course, this is going to be handled by the Council of Experts, legal experts that are within the INEC facility, and they'll be able to give the right interpretation and then be able to declare who exactly, which of the faction is, legally backed to produce the leadership of the party. Is it the faction that is being led by Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023, or the faction that is being led by the erstwhile sacked chairman, the one that the Supreme Court judgment sacked, the person of Barrister Julius Abure? But we should not also forget that there is another one, their Papa faction, that is claiming that if the chairman of a party is removed, according to Labour Party's constitution, the deputy will assume the office of the chairman, being in charge of the administration of the party pending the time that there will be general election within the party. They will do their congresses, and then the neck will be done. But in this regard, we can see that the issue of this very particular faction is what led INEC into making a decision for reassessment, so that at the end of the day, there won't be a mistake, because knowing fully well that the Supreme Court is the final bus stop. Yes, they have declared their own decision, but we should not forget that they are not infallible. They are final, and also they are fallible because they are not final. But then, since that is the way our courts is structured in our country, and then we have to accept what the Supreme Court says, and they need to really look at it in such a way that it can be given the proper interpretation, and it will help them in the rightful implementation. Because I understand that it's going to be a difficult situation for INEC to make a blunder, so an extent that the tribunal will now ask, INEC to reconduct an election, knowing fully well how much it costs to, do this even during the general election. So I give kudos to INEC for trying to sit down to reassess the judgment of the Supreme Court. And INEC should not do that only because for the Labour Party is expected to remain a neutral umpire as regards election issues in Nigeria and deliver to the utmost best of their abilities, even the right thing to Nigerians. And let it be that if there's going to be any breach, it shouldn't come even from INEC, but it will rather come even from Nigerians. So for INEC to decide to reassess the matter, it is very, very important. I think a word is enough for the wise. Peter Obi should be able to, as a presidential candidate, gather all the warring factions together. And also, Anabure should be able to also humble himself, even to accept the fate. If the judgment of the Supreme Court has, sacked him, let him take it in good faith, and he may even decide to even remain in the party so as to make the party better and stronger. Because what is much more important even for Labour Party now is to step up from being a third first in a general election to be the first to be reckoned with. That is very, very important. As at present, we know that the first to be reckoned with now in Nigeria political space is the president. He has the opportunity of the power of incumbency, but through a coalition, he can be defeated. Then another person can occupy the number one seat in Aso Rock. But if there is no cohesion within Labour Party, they are going to have a lot of problems. So I give kudos to INEC for making sure that as far as our own house is concerned, everything is in top shape, right shape, and then they are ready to deliver the best at the best of their ability, even to Nigerians. So it is expected right now that the leadership of Labour Party have to be patient with INEC for them to conclude every other thing as regards the judgment, and they can make a move. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like. Thank you.